Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? I'm here this week with Jef Rhodes from Them Damn Kings. Jeff's had quite a long career. We crossed paths down in my home away from home of Savannah, Georgia at a show. He was, running the board as an engineer does. And today we're going to talk about his life and music and the band Them Damn Kings that get me them damn tongue-tied sometimes when I try to say it too fast. How you doing, Jeff?
It's them damn words, man. They get you every damn time. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It was awesome to cross paths with you. This is what I love about music, and just being able to meet people, talk about music. And you're in a band. You sent me all your stuff. It's fucking righteous as hell, and I really enjoyed it. And I just want to talk about it and get some more people to get out there and listen to it, because I think it's fucking rad for where we are in the world. And the sound that you brought forth is a sound that I think people may have thought went away, but it's never really gone away. It's just been harder to find. So thank you for introducing me to your band.
Well, thanks for listening, man. I really appreciate it. It's great that we cross paths down there, man. You know, that's the fun part about this gig, man, is you never know, who you're going to run into, who you're going to meet, you just down there doing my thing at work, man. Boom, here we are.
So, I mean, you've been in the business for quite a long time. You've been a part of a bunch of bands, CRADLE of Filth, LACUNA COIL, old drummer from LACUNA COIL is your drummer now. I mean, back in 2016, you released an EP of Them Damn Kings. And I mean, how did that all come about for that?
Yeah, man, so back when I lived up in Jersey, I was playing all the time. I was in a bunch of local bands in the area, and it's really don't know what happened, man. I'd always kind of set out to be in a band, keep playing, write music, and there was an old club called Obsessions up in Jersey.
I know it.
Yeah. And a friend of mine who actually he was running the audio stuff over there. He was trying to basically kind of get out of the whole club gig there, and instead of going to college, I took what little bit of cash I had, and I bought his PA. And then basically the PA came with the club and the clientele. So I started doing audio over there. It was my first real thing doing audio. And then I didn't really think I saw every Friday and Saturday. We're doing bands up at Obsessions. I'd go up there and play with some of my bands. Next thing you know, I find out you can actually rent this PA gear out, man. It just kind of one thing led to another, and then next thing you know, I basically started an audio and lighting company up in Jersey, and that's kind of how I got involved with CRADLE of Filth and LACUNA COIL. Just one thing kind of leads to another. But sadly, with the running the company and doing the audio and lighting, I kind of put down the guitar for a little bit, and then I was out with a band called King in 2015, who was supporting LACUNA. And I got to be honest, like, nothing's really struck me. Nothing really hits me anymore, music. I don't really hear a lot of bands out there where I'm like, yeah, this is amazing, and this band King was out with Lacuna, and they just got me completely fired up again. And then I hadn't played guitar for probably a good 8-10 years from there, and then I just started jamming with the King guys, and found my love for playing guitar and writing music, again, and that's kind of how the EP came about.
Wow. I mean, and in the world that we're in, it is really hard to find music, and that's why we're doing what we're doing here at Hidden Tracks. Is we're trying to find that music and bring it to people that need something to get excited about. Because, like you said, it is really hard to get excited for new stuff because it's hard to find it too. As easy as the interweb has made things easy to find, it's made it harder to find the good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's really just. I mean, you definitely hit that. I feel like it's it, bands nowadays, I think, have more availability to the industry than ever, and really being able to put themselves out there. But now the problem is, there's instead of there being 1,000 bands that you could kind of find and hear of back in the day, now there's a gazillion of them just getting swamped in the pool of the same routine over and over again.
But yeah, I mean, you said it. We're trying to find that stuff and that gets you excited. I mean, that's, I love when something gets me excited again and reinvigorates my passion for music. And for you to find that to not pick up guitar for like 8 to 10 years and then rediscovering your love of what music truly is, besides sitting behind a board and making someone else sound good. You decided to.
It was instantaneous, man. It was crazy. Just I remember being there was it was King and this band called Nothing More. I don't know if you heard of these guys now, or
I know the band Nothing More. Yeah,
Dave. I mean, this was like that Lacuna tour. This was like their first tour ever, man. And they were cool. They did some really good stuff, but they didn't just. And I hope if the guys ever hear this, it's no offense, man. It just didn't. Yeah, I liked the stage show, but it didn't really hit me, man. I didn't really understand. It didn't seem to. I don't know. I just remember, sitting in the dressing room. They went on, they went off. Okay, to go through the routine, another band, and then boom, King hit, and I just remember flying up the stairs from the dressing room, like, what the heck is this, man? And I watched it every day, and then I started, doing audio for those guys too. I rarely watch the support band. I mean, especially when you're out on tour, man. Like, my day to day starts, from the second I wake up from load in up until basically the show time. I don't really get a whole lot of downtime when I'm out on the road. Especially working for the bands, doing audio, but so I don't really get to be able to enjoy some of the support bands because it's just not enough time for me. It's that like small window, between the time that the doors open for the venue and by the time the band that I'm working for goes on. It's like I'm trying to make some coffee, get some dinner in me because I haven't eaten all day, and then but King, like, I found the time. I made sure that I saw them every day, even if it was just for a song. And, then we became friends. And like, it just, the second I got to sit down and pick up a guitar again and jam with those guys, that it was over. It reignited everything for me. And then, I put out the EP and shopped it around a little bit and, picked up, actually, LACUNA COIL's old managers now managing them damn Kings. So we got a new album. Well, the album, the LP that's it was meant to come out right before the pandemic, and we literally got the album back. I think I let you have a listen to it, but we literally got the album back and it was like 2 days before everything went into lockdown. Like how crazy! It's just That's the other thing about this business, kids. You just, just like you're banging your head on the wall, constantly. But it's, it's worth it in the end.
No, I mean, and yeah, you sent me all the masters, and
Cool.
again, I listened to it. I got my rule of five. I listened to something 5 different ways to make sure that I'm all in. And I wrote you back. I said I was all in, and I mean, so from that, if you've been sitting on this and you've dripped out some stuff off of it, and that's totally cool. But let me ask you this: how do you fucking sit on something that you worked so hard for, and that something that reinvigorated you to just start, up again? How has it been for you to fucking sit on this thing?
Fucking ridiculous. I've already got another record ready to go, man. Like, it's insane. I probably got a catalog of 100 damn songs on the computer right now. It's. I've got the next record ready to go already. It's. This is, man. It's just the whole complexity of this business, and adding. You can get out there and do it yourself. Absolutely. This is one of those crazy things. Is just like, especially right now, trying to get shows booked is seems almost impossible. I remember back in the day, all I had to do was just call a venue and boom, we'd get a show, when I was playing with some of the bands up in Jersey. And it was no problem. And even before the pandemic, we wanted to go out and do a show. It really wasn't an issue. And now it's super bizarre. Like I spend the majority of my days 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, just writing venues constantly. I do the research, trying to find, rock and roll venues, this venue, anybody will take us in. And it's, you maybe get 1% of those people who write you back. So luckily, we just took on a booking agent right now. So this just kind of unfolded last week. So she's getting pretty busy with that. But this being said, so when I released the single, when I released the EP, I put the EP out. I did a couple shows. My friends bought the record, and I've had a couple people pick it up off the internet randomly. I've got a hard copy, and I'll sell it to shows, and they sell pretty well at the shows. But nothing really came of it. There wasn't really much interest as trying to find that following, especially when you got to kind of build up online nowadays. And again, here you're just dumped back into the algorithms of the way everything works. So you just never, I was just thinking about. I got super upset last night. I ended up writing my manager probably like 2 a.m. And it just like dawned on me. I was trolling through Facebook and Instagram, and I'm like, not one thing music is popping up. All my entire friends are all in this, every single one on my personal Instagram account are all musicians or involved in the music business one way or another. And I see nothing of their posts. Anything that has to do with music does not come up on any of my feeds. So that just kind of shows where, it is, unless you're willing to, spend money and I don't even really think that works all that well
Yeah,
either.
I don't think that works
I
either,
think
man.
that's just, another, hey, we figured out another way to rip money out of your wallet, man, and get you nothing. So that kind of being said, once I got the manager, we've gone to when we did the single for "Throw It Away," we took it to radio, and we hired a publicist, and I got some good heat backup on. I mean, now at least when you search us in Google, you'll find it.
Yeah.
You'll find us everywhere, which is great. So I mean, that was absolutely well worth it. And Muncie, our radio guy over at Skateboard Marketing, I mean, he took us to number 4 on the NACC stuff. So I mean, that was great. But then the pandemic hit in, and unless you're constantly doing this, it just boom right downhill. So we I feel that there's more benefit in this case. to be able to, hire these people to help promote and shop the record. Because, I could put it out tomorrow and maybe a handful of people will find it. And then that's it. And then it sits there and then, it's gone. And then I put out I mean, it, it's really hard to say. I mean, this just seems to be the way that this is going forward. I mean, the mechanics of this whole industry is completely dead. There's really no rhyme or reason as to why somebody's going to make it, why somebody's not going to make it, why you're going to get found, why you're not going to get found. I mean, I bang my head constantly every day. Like, just none of this makes sense anymore. But
No,
this finding you, man, I mean, just meeting it. I mean, that's important. I mean, that's honestly, I think that is really the biggest way that you're going to conquer any of this. Is just got to keep getting out there playing. I got to keep getting out there playing shows. All the bands, we just got to get out there and keep playing shows. I actually just returned from Incarceration Festival with Lacuna Coil, and not that, and it's good that Lacuna was there because they don't get too much of a chance to do the American festivals, so it's good that they're trying to pop back into that whole market. But I'm looking down a little, I'm like, man, it's the same bands that it was 3 years ago at the festivals. It's the same bands that it was 5 years ago at the festival. It's the same guys over and over and over and over again. And it's just like, man, there's got to be that pop. There's got to be some outlet for unknown artists to be able to approach and, you know, to be able to get heard just more than, tossing around on social media and playing, the corner pub every month and a half.
yeah, and I mean, I think some of the fests do a good job of it, of having that, the smaller stage for the up and coming bands, for people to get their, to get their palate wet, and,
Yeah.
and I think that's so important. And I've tried to, tell people that if you're going to a festival where you've seen the band that's on 900 times, okay, they're going to probably sound exactly the same.
Go check out the guys on the little stage, man.
Yeah, go check them out, because that's where it all starts, right? It starts from the hustle. It starts from playing those smaller stages, and that's where you not only do you get to become a better musician because you get to practice and you're playing in front of people, not going to be the same as the main stage, but you're gaining that experience, and it just makes you all that much better if you stick with it. And that's also my thing when going to shows. Like, in my 20s, yeah, I probably never saw an opener because I was just like, I didn't pay for them, so I didn't give a shit. But
Right.
now that I'm fucking old as fuck and I go to shows and I'm there at doors. I get my spot and I watch everyone that's playing, because the person that goes on first is playing just as hard as the person that goes on last.
God, I never understood that, and I see it so much, man, where it's like, I'll be working a show and it's like, you bought the fucking ticket. You paid your hard-earned money to see 4 or 5 bands play that night, and you show up 10 minutes before the headliner. Like, why, man? Like, the same dickhead is probably driving around with the support your local music bumper sticker,
Yeah, and I mean, listen, back when you're a teenager and you're in your 20s, you care about being at that bar a lot sooner than you care about seeing the band.
Yeah.
And then, as I started to get older and I started to see opening, besides growing up and going to the local VFW and seeing bands play, but it became something more important to me, because I found so many amazing bands that were openers and fell in love with them immediately. And I was just like, fuck, how did I not know about these guys? But that's the reason. I go to shows constantly, and that is my thing. Went to, got a show tomorrow, one on Friday, was at one last Monday. And, the first guy goes on, one of the best new musicians that I found, just the most soulful son of a bitch I've fucking seen in years. And I found him when he opened at another show, and I went, and then I feel bad that there's like 18 people watching him play, and he's fucking giving everything he's got. He's got no more to give than what he's giving, and it's fucking amazing. And I'm taping it because I'm like, people need to see this shit because he's so awesome. But everybody's like, well, that's not who I paid for, so I'm not going to get there early.
Yeah, it does my head, but you're paying for the whole show anyway. I mean, I don't understand that. And I mean, take note now. It's a good thing that you get to see some of these guys like that, man. Playing such because sooner or later, you'd hope that next time you see them, they're they're playing in front of 7, 800,000,
Yeah,
10,
yeah.
20 bajillion people, man. I mean, I was just and one of my band guys was complaining about something the other day, immediately I kind of just I sent a video that I found on YouTube of Metallica back in the early '80s playing some place in San Fran, man, to like I don't know 7 people, and I remember just seeing a guy like walking through the camera shot holding a drink, like no fucks given who was
Yeah.
playing on the stage, man. And that was Metallica, man. So everybody starts somewhere, it's just I feel like it's feel like it's a little bit more I don't want to say difficult these days, but it's weird. It's easier
It's
but more difficult,
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's easier but more difficult because, and again, it's that fucking game of algorithms. It's that game of weeding through all the bullshit and being able to pop into an algorithm because your song needs to be 3 minutes and 31 seconds, not 3 minutes and 32 seconds,
Yeah.
or like, and that's the kind of stuff where people just get ripped, you know, on awesome stuff. Like my song, it was 38 seconds too long. It didn't fall into the algorithm, but it's the best damn song that would have ever been on the fucking playlist that they put together for, new noise. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it's such a shame. Like it's a shame that we have to do things like this to pry away from the bullshit that's out there. But it's the adapt and overcome. We got to figure it out. And again, like how you and I met, meeting at shows and talking to people. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the game. That's how you get the word out. I mean, you can post as much shit as you want, but if you don't already have a fucking million followers because you're shaking your ass, you're not going to get a word out. Like
No.
it's so tough.
No, it's completely I don't know. Everybody's always, oh, you got to stay active, be more active on it. Dude, I could care less about. I really could. I honestly, there's nothing that makes me sicker than having to, take a picture of myself or something and chuck it up on social media, man. Bro, I grew up in New Jersey and New York. Like even I spent a majority of my time at CBGBs and all those places up there. To me, that's I don't know. That's how I want it to be. And I one thing I guess I gotta say is there might be this whole social media way of doing things, but I don't want it to be my way, and I don't think that it necessarily is going to make or break anybody in that case.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, I just it's cool to post a picture of a show or the fans or and then I just it's there's some people who man who they'll get up and they'll post 3 4 times a day. That's not my world, man. I want to go out and meet people like you, man.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm not there holding my telephone at the. It's just it's I don't know.
I hear you.
That's the world I grew up in, and obviously it seems to be the world you grew up in
Yeah.
too, man. And so I just say, like I'll always say is, if you don't love what what you're doing, and don't do it, man. You got to love what you do, and you got to do it the way you want to do it, because that's what's going to make you happy. And I mean, I'd have to say that in my life, I'm pretty fortunate here that I've made several different careers, in this industry or wearing several different hats, to allow me to continue on, doing the stuff that I love to do. And, it gets frustrating and, there's plenty of times I want to pound my head against the wall, but, in the end, man, just that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that hour, that one guy who comes up to you and says, "Hey man, your band was great. I really dig it." Or, when you're just out there mixing a show and, meet a guy, "Hey man, I like your music. You want to do a podcast?" Hell yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about you've carved out this career of doing something you love. I mean, let's go back to the early days of childhood and music. What was the musical life in your home that you grew up in? I mean, what do you have? I point out two moments in everyone's life that are important. It's the first time you truly hear music that piques your interest, and then the next time is the time you find your own music that you
You
want to
know,
like.
man, I'll never forget it. Distinctly remember, and I don't even think I could talk yet. And it's weird. I go back in my head because I think about this a lot. To a defining moment of like, that was kind of it. Though I didn't really realize it at the time. I remember the first thing I can remember hearing. I was probably 6 months old or less. Was the Guitar Man by Bread. And I don't know what it was. I used to laugh like crazy every time my mother would put that song on. It just made me the happiest dude in the world. I didn't even really understand what I was hearing. I just, it was just hilarious to me. I have no idea why, but I kind of knew, like right then, like this shit makes me really happy. And again, I didn't know why or anything. I didn't realize I was gonna, become a musician or anything like that. But I remember and I was probably sixth grade, seventh grade. I heard Ozzy Osbourne for the first time, and that was it, man. It kind of brought me back to that Bread moment, and I was just like, it blew my fucking mind, man. I was like, what is happening here? So immediately, I got into Ozzy. I wanted to be, Randy Rhodes. I wanted to be Zach Wild, man. I just knew right then and there that I wanted to play guitar. And, I begged my parents for a guitar. No, 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 this and that. And I ended up, kind of goofing around in the attic one day. I was probably, I guess I was 11, probably 11, 12 years old, somewhere around there, probably 11. And I found an acoustic guitar that my dad had. So immediately I was just like, this thing was like fucking gold to me. I didn't know what to do with it. I'm looking at this like, this is what I want. It's right in front of me. And so I stole it. And at that, I guess probably at that time, the Metallica Black album was pretty big. And, this is going on like 2 years now. I've been begging my parents for a guitar. And my dad's been hiding this thing in the attic for, years now. And it's and it was a classical guitar. So, I mean, that's probably why he didn't want me, touching with it or playing with it. It's a very old guitar. I actually still have it too. Um, but I ended up nicking it. And, anytime where I knew they weren't listening, I just sat there tinkering around with it. And I ended up learning what the heck, not Enter Sandman, The Unforgiven. I've just figured it out by ear. It took me a little while, but I did it. And then I remember after getting my ass kicked, for stealing my old man's guitar when not telling him, I think they realized pretty much after that, like, oh yeah, all right, this kid's got a little bit of talent. Let's get him a guitar. So apparently they reached out to my uncle and he sent out a guitar because I guess he had one he hadn't played in years. It was an old Vox Stroller, I think it's called, man, and a very very old guitar, and didn't still doesn't play very well at all. But I still have that one too, and then I started progressing pretty quick playing, and you know took took whatever money I made on a paper route, and my old man matched it up and got myself a nice Ibanez, and that was that.
Wow. So when did you rush out to find bandmates to put a band together? Because that's the ultimate goal, right? When you pick up a guitar, is like, I got to start a band. Like,
Man,
nobody goes, I want to do this alone for the rest of my, like, it's, I got to start a band. So how fast was that?
It was immediate. I mean, I was so obsessed with this, man. Like, I had a band before we even had an instrument in school. We called ourselves, oh man, what was it called? Skag, I think was the name of the band, man. I can't even believe I remember that. was like Satan's command above God. It was crazy. I'm not a Satanist or anything like that, man. I was an impressionable 10-year-old kid who's listening to Black Sabbath and Ozzy, so everything was the devil, So and we all started to. None of us could even play anything. We didn't even have any instruments. I think the one kid, Tommy, may have had a drum kit, and so we just went around school like, yeah, we play in this band. Never played a show. We didn't even know how to play, but yeah. Then I got my guitar, and then I don't think I ever played with anybody that I went to school with. I got pretty good at it pretty quick, and right away, like I remember some local band was holding auditions. I went in there, I got the gig, and then we were playing them sessions, and God, what was that? Played the Brighton Bar, and
The Brighton Bar, yeah.
yeah, man, and I think we even played the Trade Winds, man, if you remember that
Yep, I
place.
do.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think you and I are about the same age. So
So we all hit the same, man. The one place I never got to play, never even got to work at, man, was the Birch Hill, and I spent so many brain cells in that place.
Oh, yeah, I went to so many shows at Birch Hill.
Every single one. I did so many times, like sleeping in the parking lot, or like passing out over at the what was that Peter Pank Diner right after the show, man. It was. I must have seen every rock and roll show that came through there. I mean, I felt like I was there at least 2 or 3 times a week, man. And I never got to work there. Yeah, that's a shame. I love that. It was the loudest, just crazies. I love that place, man. It was so fucking loud in there.
Yeah, I remember like for a moment, one of my close friends in life, when he got to play the Birch Hill, it was literally like, for me, I was like, you made it, dude. Like
yeah, that was. I mean, still in my head. I don't care where I play, man. Like, I'll never get to play the Birch Hill, and that was the same, man. Like, even back then, it was like we all wanted to play the Birch Hill, man. Yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from. I mean, I've played Starland Ballroom, but it's not Birch Hill, man.
Yeah.
Even it's the same rig and the same guys who moved over to that place. It doesn't matter. It's not the Birch Hill, man.
No, and Starland, I mean, that's where I got to travel down to now. And what's funny is, for me, I'm literally 20 minutes out, like with no traffic outside the city. But it's if I got to go somewhere in Brooklyn or directly into New York City, it's closer for me to drive fucking 70 miles to Starland than it is to drive 22 miles into the fucking city.
Man, so I'll travel everywhere with Lacuna Coil. I mean, I haven't been going overseas with them obviously since the pandemic, and finances have been cracking down in this biz. But so I lived in Jersey, and I was out off exit 27 on 80 out there. So this is what, man, like, I don't know, 30 on a good day, 45 minutes to the Lincoln Tunnel, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, man, so I think it was maybe 18. I think in total. Oh, you know what? No, this was when I was living in Hoboken. Actually, it's right. This is what I was. So I lived in Hoboken for a little bit. So we're like 18 miles to JFK from Hoboken.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah, if that.
Man, I remember I had to fly to Europe, and I don't know why the hell I didn't take the mass transit. I don't remember the reasoning why. I think maybe at that time there was a problem with getting a train out to JFK or something. I don't know if they're doing it now, but I remember it used to be a big problem to get out there. So, man, I left. It took 6 hours from Hoboken to get to JFK. Totally missed my flight. It was crazy, man. And I flew up during the pandemic to, and obviously, when I was running the audio and lighting stuff up there, we'd go out and do stuff out at Jones Beach, and it would take. I just started leaving the night before because it took so darn long to get out there.
Oh yeah, the island's a whole different. It's a different world. That's why anyone who lives on the island never leaves the island.
Oh, dude, I've got a couple friends out there, and they will never even come to the city to come see me, man. When I'm doing the show, it's like, man, all right, I get it, but. I flew back up for a friend's birthday during the pandemic that lived like way out, almost on by Pennsylvania and Jersey. I made it from JFK to, was it JFK or LaGuardia? Either JFK or LaGuardia, man. We made it from there back to their place, and it was under 40 minutes, man.
Yeah, it's
And
nuts.
it's I don't miss it, man. I really don't miss. I mean, I miss the pizza, but I
Yeah,
don't
I
really
mean,
miss
there's no good pizza. I mean, there's okay pizza in Georgia now, but I mean, it's not home.
No, I mean, once you get a slice of Jersey pie, man, it's over. There's nowhere else. I mean, New York, New Jersey, you got to go to Italy just to get anything close.
Yeah.
There's
So
nothing happening here.
so when you start finding people to play music with, I mean, what do you remember your first performance in front of strangers? What that was like for you?
Yeah, yeah, I do, man. That was at the I think that was actually Obsessions, man. It was our first little it was my first show with that local band, and I was terrified, man. I had this whole image in my head about how it was all gonna go. Like, I practiced super hard, man, and I didn't know I really had stage fright till that day. And I mean, I went out there, I played, I damn near had a I wasn't old enough to legally drink, so none of us really had any booze yet. And that probably would have helped solve a lot of problems. But uh, yeah, it was terrifying, man. I got to be honest. Like I was not. Terrifying is the wrong word, man. It was like every fucking emotion that you could ever possibly. It was being scared. It was being excited. It was being like, dude, this is happening. I'm finally getting out in front of people to play, man. Oh no, what if this dude fucks it? What if something happened? And it couldn't have gone any worse, man. I fucking fell when I was on stage. I busted my fucking headstock on my guitar. It was incredible. It just everything that could go wrong absolutely went wrong, man. And I just remember thinking when I fell, I tripped right over the fucking stage monitor and just fell, cracked it. Luckily, my guys we were playing with, I think they had a spare guitar, so I ended up using that to finish it out. But yeah, I still got the broken headstock in the other room too, man. I never got rid of it. It was it was an experience, man, and we made it through the show. I think I walked out of there feeling like, tail tucked between my legs and out the door. But I guess it really wasn't that bad, People still wanted to come out and see us after that, and it it it, it really took a long time to kind of get over. I don't want to say get over kind of a stage frighty thing, but kind of get over that moment of like, I always started imagining like, it's got to be perfect. Why does it always go this way? And then I just realized like it's a fucking live show, man. Like it's gonna go wrong sometimes, like don't say, I mean that who cares, man? That's the way it's rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, the way you look at it, if that was your first show, the only way to go is up, right?
I
It
mean,
can only get better.
it couldn't have gotten any worse, man. I mean, so yeah, it definitely. Well, luckily, playing wise, it was pretty. I don't remember much of the show, but I do remember like completely blacking out, like just forgetting it. Like, thank goodness for muscle memory, man, because I had no idea when I got out there. This was back when people went to local shows, man. I mean, it was pretty packed up. I remember it was probably a couple hundred people there, man. I mean, they weren't there for us. I'm sure we were supporting somebody that was coming through Obsessions that day, or we were on like a local bill. I really don't remember, but I just remember, I couldn't remember what to do, man. Like, I don't know. And it just kept happening. I was like, all right, this is why practice is important if you want to play without a computer.
If you don't have the widget behind you creating the sound for you, you got to do it yourself.
Exactly, man. That's, and that's one thing at least you'll get from them damn Kings, man. There's no computer stuff. Whatever's happening on stage is real. There's real amps turned up to 10. There's guys beating on the drums, man. Like everything is real out there.
Do you remember your first concert you ever went to or were dragged to?
it was Bon Jovi, man, at the Brendan Byrne or God.
Yeah, Brendan Byrne.
All
Yep.
right, that's all right. It's always going to be Brendan Byrne to me, man. I don't know how many times you can change it to the Izod Center or Presidential Arena or whatever it's called.
Continental it was, and yeah,
Continental.
I
That's
think
right.
it's not even there anymore. So, well,
I
it's there,
remember.
but it's not used.
Oh, they're not using it anymore.
No, nothing goes through there.
Whatever, man.
The
That's a
the
shame.
the new Mall of America is there. So
Perfect. Well, there you go. Another awesome, man. I saw so many guys, and I saw Van Halen there, man, and Ozzy and Motorhead, and it's everybody, man. Metallica was there, but, I remember seeing that one, and but it was Bon Jovi, man, in like 1988. I think
so did you choose
was
that, or did your parents drag you to that?
For some reason. So 88, so I was like 9 years. All right, so I was probably getting into. It was probably just before I heard Ozzy, man, and I think I had the Slippery When Wet record. I don't know if that was my old man's or it was my. I don't know. We were driving somewhere, and I saw the big sign that Bon Jovi was playing there that night, and I was just like, I want to go, And he was like, "Oh, you're too little, kid," but he ended up taking me anyway, and I don't think we stayed very long. I wasn't into. Heck, I didn't even know what drugs were back then, and I distinctly remember the entire place smelling like weed when we walked in. I think we caught maybe 2 or 3 songs of the set, and I think my old man was like, "We're getting the hell out of here," I was fine. I was happy as can be. I was like, "What's this amazing smell? This is going to be the rest of your life, kid." I don't smoke anymore though, but
Now, do you have a concert that you went to that stands out above all others? That it was like one of the most existential things you could ever feel watching someone else play music?
no, I mean it was Ozzy, man, and No More Tours. In what 92 that was 93 or 92, 91, early 90s, right?
Yeah.
And that was my first time seeing Ozzy and Zach Wild. I mean, he's a fucking god. I mean, everything I've ever him and Randy are the reason I play the way I play. I mean, and seeing, I just knew then like they were gods to me, man. And like seeing this, happening and seeing Zach and seeing Ozzy. I mean, it was. I knew right then and there, man. Like that was like the defining moment, like live. Like I knew that I really wanted to fucking be on stage, man. Like I knew it, man. So that was what this was probably 4 to so yeah, and it was probably around the same time when I was playing in the local band, like or I'd just gotten into it or something. This is all around the same time, man. But I just knew at that concert, man, I was like, this is everything that I want to do. This is it, man. I mean, there's nothing like that anymore. I mean, there's this, Zach just got into what they're doing that Pantera thing now, right?
Yeah, that revival. Yeah, the Pantera tribute type of thing with Anselmo.
And man, like I'm seeing a lot of. I've always said, man, like Zach. I mean, Zach and Dime were they were like best friends, man. So does anybody to go out there and do it? It's Zach, man, and I get it. I saw Pantera, back in the day. I've toured with Vinnie Paul. It doesn't break my heart for this to happen. It's going to be fucking awesome, man. Like you've got Zach Wild, who is probably the last living rock star out there, man. Like, maybe not, as far as, Keith Richards or something like that. But, I'm talking about like bona fide, like genuine 1980s hair out to here, man, fucking rock star, man. I don't really know anybody else.
I think Grohl falls into that rock star
persona. Yeah, he definitely does, man. I'll give it that, but that's 2, man. Like, I mean,
okay, we got the 2 left.
It just like it doesn't. It's not there anymore, man. I appreciate Five Finger Death Punch. I like those guys, but like I go and see that, and I don't know if I'm getting old or what, man. I'm like, man, where's You're just a bunch of dudes, man. Like,
Yeah,
what?
going through the motions. It's not like that. It's not that you can tell a rock star on stage apart from anything else. Like
And
you can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it when they're doing it. You
yes,
know.
man. And that is what inspired me. And you know what, man? That's that everything I've ever read from Zach. That's what inspired him, man. You know, and why would I be inspired, man? Like, I feel like this is kind of the problem. It's music's one thing, man. If you want to go out and play music and be a musician, you know, that's perfectly fine, man. You know, dude, and you know, it's great. That's not the entertainment industry. That's being a musician, that's playing music, and that's going out and playing shows, and that's great, man. This is show business, man. You know, Zach Wild is show business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got that. Dave Grohl is show business, man. You know, it's who doesn't like that whole look at me, look at. I mean, it's fucking amazing, man. There's no better feeling in the world when you're up on stage and people are screaming at you, you know, or throwing tomatoes at you, even. You know, it's a whole it's amazing, man. But I don't know. I think that really that seems to be a very important quality that's missing out of the industry for a very long time now. You know, so when I see Zach going and playing with Pantera, it's like you got a living legend going back into a bunch of legends. And you know what, man? Like Pantera is fucking metal, and I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. You know what I mean? At least in that aspect of just pure, unadulterated metal, man. I mean, that's what Pantera was. You know, just in your face. So I'm glad he's doing it, man. I'm glad, and you know, I'm gonna be the first one to go see it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading everything up on it. As soon as it was announced, I was like, "Oh, this is very intriguing."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I do kind of understand it where it's like, dude, it's you know, it's not Pantera. I mean, two of the guys who basically were Pantera are gone now, which you know,
Yeah,
absolutely
but
sucks.
the way you got to look at it though is Pantera didn't become really Pantera until Anselmo joined the band. I mean, they
That's
were,
true.
you know, they were tight leather pants and you know had their hair blown out and were getting in the fights with rigor mortis in fucking Texas because you know they thought they were something that they weren't, and it was Anselmo who made everyone know who Pantera is.
You know, man, you just brought up something really good too. Absolutely, you know, but you gotta you got to be real with what you're doing, man. And especially nowadays, you know, Pantera, boom, perfect example. Like here they are running around, and I remember seeing, you know, picture. Thank God I never saw that abomination, but you know, I've seen pictures of Dimebag, you know, the pink hair, you
Yeah.
know, out to there and tights, and even back then, just like looking at that picture, and I don't know if it's ingrained in your head now because I know what Dime looks like in Pantera. You know, so even like looking at it, it's just like this is wrong, man. Like you don't belong in fucking you know tighties with pink hair, bro. You know, you need a pink fucking beard and you know just throw on the old jeans there. But you know, you're dude. As soon as they became true to themselves, you know, or I don't know if that's the right word. I think you hit the nail on the head with what you said, you know, and that's when it all happened, man. You know, they got into who they really were, and it fucking worked.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those funny things where someone will be like, "Dude, how do you know that, and why do you know that?" I'm like, because when I hear a band that I fucking love, the first thing I do is I find out everything I can about them, and when diving back to the days and seeing that, and then seeing the stories of Daryl fighting with fucking bass player rigor mortis on stage because of the way they were fucking dressed, and like just like that's how everything starts, man. But you had to start somewhere, and they started wrong for
Yeah,
what they were doing. And when Anselmo came in and was just like, "You guys are fucking great musicians, let's try this," and boom, there you go.
I mean,
The
that's
Cowboys from Hell are born.
that's it, man. What a great time too. I mean, everything in that whole. I'd have to say, for me, man, that whole area, that really late '80s and that early '90s was probably my absolutely favorite period of time, man. I mean, you had Cowboys from Hell, come out. You had Skid Row Slave to the Grind is still one of my absolute favorite.
Dude,
I mean,
I push that album all the time. I tell people, I go, that is one of the best metal albums. And
absolutely.
everybody's like, what? I'm like, dude, Slave to the Grind by Skid Row is one of the best metal albums. And it was one of those albums where it was just like, when that album came out after, they're self-titled with 18 in Life and all that kind of stuff, when Slave to the Grind came out, it was fucking just blew me away and was something completely different and wasn't expecting it. And it's still, to this day, I still have it on CD. I still listen to it because it's a fucking awesome.
It's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
Apps. I think, well, you know what? That's not even that fucking true because it's a fucking badass record. I mean, to this day, I still listen to it at least once a week, man. Like I have listened to that record since it came out nonstop. I've never put it away, and I'm never going to. It's coming off their self-titled Skid Row into that. It's like that just made them even more like they weren't a fucking glam band anymore. These guys were bona fide rock and fucking rollers, man. And it was great because they could just play with anybody now,
Yeah, no. And I think a lot of that came because they were on tour prior to Slave to the Grind coming out with Metallica. So I'm sure some of that had to rub off and just be like, wow, we need to step our game up.
Yeah. I mean, I would think so. And I mean, the Bass has always been a very aggressive, he's got they all just got that attitude,
Here's a moment in your life, especially Jersey boys like us, the day you get your license. Do you remember what you were listening to the day you got your license and got in the car for the first time and went to pick somebody up?
Yeah, man. It was Bloodbath in Paradise. Ozzy Osbourne, man, and my 1983 Trans Am. And I even got I fucking refused to take the driving test in my parents' car. I had bought I think I got my permit. And I bought this train. I mean, if this is back, you can get these cars for like $200 back then, man. I miss those days. I went through numerous freaking Trans Ams, but yeah, I bought that car like the day I got my. I know I bought it before I got my permit. I can't remember it. You got to take your
permit at like 16. So like right after you become 16, you have your permit. You can only drive with licensed drivers, and then 17, you get your license.
When do you? But you get your you got to take the road test because I remember I refused, man. Like I had the Trans Am already, and I refused. I'm like, I'm not taking this test unless I'm driving my Trans Am, man. Like, I just had to be the badass guy to go do it, And meanwhile, I think I ran over a bunch of cones when I used that car, but somehow I ended up passing. But I remember immediately, like. My mother was there, and I was just like, "See you later. I'm out of here." And I went, and I remember it was I was blasting Ozzy's, No Rest for the Wicked record with I think it was Bloodbath or pretty sure it was Bloodbath, man. When for that,
So,
I definitely.
So Ozzy's your guy, right? So would you say, because I always ask this question, but I think you've said Ozzy so many times, like if there was an artist that has never let you down when it comes to music, like, some people always describe things as favorite bands. I look for someone, a band or an artist who's just never let me down with their music. And I can always turn to it when I need it.
Man, I'd say it was Ozzy. But I think these last two records, man, have kind of let me down. Not to say that they're not. I mean, it's Ozzy singing. I don't know what he's doing anymore, man. I mean,
Trying to keep cash flow, man.
yeah, I guess like he needs any more. Give me some. I, man, I guess I've Black Label's never let me down yet. I still listen to every single Black Label record. Um, and I guess I kind of followed Ozzy up until Zach kind of took off. I like that Black Rain album Ozzy did with Gus G. I don't know. I guess I kind of moved over to the Black Label camp.
So you found your other guy.
I mean, Zach was a huge part of Ozzy's career. So I mean, why not go with the guy who was you know Hashinu, who really helped define Ozzy's sound too, man. There's no better replacement, I think, for Ozzy, after Randy than Zach,
Yeah, and I mean it just bodes well for us Jersey boys to, be able to claim Zach as one of our own too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I've always wondered, man. I mean, I probably never did. I mean, was it? I honestly can't remember if I ever saw his. I'm pretty sure I saw that Zyrus band a couple times over at Birch Hill, because that used to be Zach's band, I believe, before he got into Ozzy, man. You remember Zyrus at all?
No, I don't. I remember like Generation X.
Oh yeah, man. There was another awesome local, man. What was it? Jester, I think was. I don't know if you ever caught those guys, man. Those were a couple bad. I never understood why they just. I mean, Jester was. I went to actually go see them. I remember they ended up headlining Birch Hill one night. But they used to pack that place out. They seemed like they were the opening band on just about everybody coming through, and they just never. They never popped, man. I never understood why.
Well, I mean that's the biz, man. Like
Yeah.
you can, it's the hardest thing. You could find something you love. Like that's some of my things too. Is like I got bands that I love that came out like 2 albums and then they were gone. They disappeared because it just didn't happen. And it's like fuck. But at least here's the good part. I still got those 2 albums and I can always go back to it.
Absolutely, man. And that's at least the beauty part about music, man, is, like, again, Slave to the Grind. Here it is, man. I still listen to it every week. I mean, that happened in what, 94, 93?
Yeah, I think Slave to the Grind it might have been 93.
Maybe not. Yeah, 93. And I mean, it brings me right back to that, to that moment. I mean, I remember buying that record at like James Way or something like that, man. And that was it. That's that.
Wow, Slave to the Grind was 91, so that came out the same year as
91?
Metallica's. Yeah, it came out the same year as Metallica's Black, right?
Man, when did Skid Row was what, like 89 then?
Yeah, 89, 88.
Wow, 91. All right. Wow, 91. I thought for certain it was 90. That's crazy, man. What an awesome time, though, man. I mean, that fucking record was, it was so good because like everything production wise was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger then too, man. I mean, not to say like, early Van Halen records and Zepp records, like I listened to them today and I'm like, these things were fucking huge. I guess I just didn't appreciate it then, man. But that I don't know, that whole early 90s era, the Black album, no more tears and Use Your Illusions, they were fucking monsters.
They were huge monsters. That was when the industry was the industry and everything could be huge.
Yeah. And there was just money. It's like the mafia, man. There's just money everywhere. It was amazing, man. And it's an interesting time now.
Yeah. Now, talking about all the music we've been talking about this entire time, is there a style of music or a band or an artist that you really enjoy that people would be really surprised to hear after everything you've talked about so far?
You know, talking about how we used to go and watch all the openers. Man, I used to go to. I don't even know if it's still there anymore. There's a place called Vintage Vinyl in Jersey. Are they still there?
So Vintage Vinyl just went out of business.
Motherfucker!
I think January of this year. Yeah, Vintage
I
Vinyl
heard.
finally closed.
I heard they were going out. I just didn't want to believe it, man.
Yeah.
I used to go into that place, and I would like every couple weeks I'd scrounge up and I'd go in with like $100, and I would just randomly buy, CDs from bands I've never heard of. They'd always kind of have that one little spot, or I just go into okay, today's going to be rock and roll. Nope, never heard of this band. Going to buy it. Today's going to be never. Today's going to be a Swedish death metal thing. I had never heard of these guys. Buy it. And I lucked out with this one band called Cybreed. It's Sybreed, and I don't think they're a thing anymore. They put out 3 records, and it's fucking. I remember when I first heard this, they blew my mind away. And what was even crazier is I saw they were coming to play in the States, and this was like they were playing like Obsessions, man. These guys were. I think they're not Sweden. Who's got all the money over there? What are those guys, man? The Swiss. I think they were from Switzerland. This band, and I don't think any of them were 18 yet, man. So like they were coming over to play, and they couldn't even get in the fucking country. Like they weren't allowed to play any of the venues. And the kid was like, "This drummer, you listen to these drum." And I thought it was kind of fame. Well, that's all program. And I'm watching this drummer. This drummer's got to be 15 years old, 16 years old, in these videos when I found him. And this was like YouTube wasn't even really popular when I found. I mean, the internet was still just kind of exploding when I found out about Cybreed, man. So I found little videos here and there that I could find, and it was just watching these guys do that. They're on YouTube now. I mean, you can go find it. I think they did some TV show in Switzerland or somewhere in Europe, and just watching. They're all super young, and it's like, how is this music coming out of these kids, man? Like it's very technical kind of stuff, but not in the vein of them. I never got the feeling that it was like, let's sit down and write something technical. There may have been kind of that mindset, like, okay, I want to go in and do that, but man, it just, I don't know, it struck me pretty good. And it's not what you'd think. It's not something that you'd expect me to listen to.
Right.
It's really not something that I rather do. But Cybreed, man, they're fucking monsters.
All right. I'm gonna check it out.
Good, man. Good. Yeah. Anybody I can spread the word about with those guys, I'm more than happy to. Like I said, I think they're defunct now, but
but you can always go find it. That's the best part.
Yeah,
about music.
man.
First recording ever made is still out there. So
that's it, man. And you can find that on the internet now too.
Yep. All right, so the world's going to end in 5 minutes. Meteor's going to come crashing into the earth. And you have to listen to one song. You have to listen to one song. What song?
Oh, I was going to say, thank goodness I'm out of here. My exit plan's working. I don't mean out of the podcast. I mean out of the fun, life in general here. Not that I'd ever, insinuate that, kiddies. Suicide Solution was not about suicide. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked on the joy that the world might be ending here for a second.
Yeah, so it's ending. You have to listen to one song. You got 5 minutes. You got to listen to one song. What song are you listening to?
Oh, fuck, man. Either Miracle Man or anything off a Slave to the Grind.
All right. We're gonna come in on our time here in a minute or so. So if no one ever heard Them Damn Kings and you told them you were in a band, what song of yours currently out would you play for them that you would say best describes what the band is?
The one that's currently out, I'd say it would be the Throw It Away, man. I mean, it's it's a pretty straightforward rock and roll song. We got a video out for it. It's we had this whole elaborate thing ready to go for the video. Excuse me, wasn't working, so I just threw some bikers in there because what's more rock and roll than having some bikes and chicks, man, and just a couple cool riffs. But the record, which is titled "Rise Up," is coming out this year, one way or the other. It's going to happen, even if it just doesn't happen the way I want it, or any parties involved would like it to happen. It's getting put out there one way or the other. It's called Rise Up, and we if you like Throw It Away, I think you'll like the rest of the record, and I want to get it the hell out of there so I can get this next record out to share the world, with the madness of what we're doing here. Because, that's the one thing if I could put out a record every 6 months, every year, I absolutely would. And, if there's an outlet, a way to do that, man, it's right at your fingertips now, whether anybody will listen or not, so just got to do it, man. Because, at least for me, I think when it comes to writing a song or music, it's, it's that moment of time, just like, Skid Row, we go right back to then. This record that was done during the pandemic, it's a great record. It's going to come out, but that's over, man. That was where I was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I'm here now, man. I'm in a new place, and if you like the songs on Rise Up, you're gonna love the stuff that's gonna be popping out after that because I feel like things have evolved quite a bit. So hopefully by October we'll be hitting the road and get this album Rise Up out there. You can go check out the video on YouTube or themdamnkings.com. It's up on our website, probably on our Facebook, and it's just at Them Damn Kings. You can find it everywhere.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, the album's a banger. I've listened to it a bunch of times. I appreciate you sending it to me and letting me hear it before it's all out there in the world. It means a lot to me. And what you do as an artist and all the stuff you do for other artists is commendable. So thanks for that, man.
Oh man, well, thank you for listening.
So we're coming into our last segment. It is our weekly threes. It is 3 things that you're listening to right now that you'd like people to check out.
3 things I'm listening to right now. Black Label Society is for sure one of them. I've definitely been on that. I've actually recently been back into the Alter Bridge scene there. I've been listening to Miles stuff quite a bit lately, and see something obscure there that I've been listening to because I'll bark Ozzy all day long in Black Label. You know what? There's a new guy that our management has, and it's not what you'd think, man. And the guy's really good. He's a Canadian artist. He's going to be doing a lot of shows in the States, from what I understand. He's a rock and roll motherfucker, though, man. His name is Graham Trude. It's Trude. That dude is he's pretty freaking banging, man. I'm really digging this guy, Graham Trude. I'd say if he's actually been on the playlist lately, and I'm not really all that much of a country fan, but he's got some stuff going on. Cadillac 3, got to throw them in there.
All right. So that's awesome. I will check that out for sure.
Yeah, man. Cool, definitely.
Awesome. So my 3 for this week, my first one is a band called Ocean Sleeper. They're an Australian metal band. They have a single out called Your Love I'll Never Need. It's a fucking just heavy in your face anti-love song by an Australian metal band.
Yeah, I like that.
Next band is a band called Unprocessed. The album is called Artificial Void, and they're a German metal rock band. They meld a lot of different sounds. Which school you get a metal song, you get a rock song, then you get a metal pop rock song. Like they put it all together. Those Germans are crazy with putting things together. So
They definitely are, man. What I feel like I've heard of them before, man.
And my last one is a band called A Vulture Wake. If anyone ever listened to the old band All or last band Drag the River, it's Chad Price of the band All with his new thing that he's doing. And the EP is called Kingdom. So if you like punk, old school 80s punk style with good singing, as I like to put it, then A Vulture Wake is what you got to listen to.
Well, I like it, man. A Vulture Wake, dude. There's nothing I like more than checking out new music, especially bands I haven't heard before. So, thank goodness, man, that there's guys like you doing this, man, to help get the word out there with for all of us, man, because I think there's room in this for everybody. We just need more people to spread the word,
Yeah, and hey, listen, if I can do my little bit of a part, I mean, this is a nonprofit thing, and I love music, and I want people that are talented to rise above those who aren't, and that are getting paid for it. So, let's move past the fake, the posers, as you will, and get the real talent to the top. So,
absolutely, man. Well said.
But Jef, thank you so much for being here. It was awesome getting to meet you. I can't wait to see you again in a couple months and hang out. And, thanks for the music you've provided me. And, our listeners, I'm sure, are going to love it. So, thanks for being here, man. We really appreciate it.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me, man. And definitely can look forward to seeing you in a couple.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time to go out, listen to them damn Kings, and have a great fucking time. Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.